What's going on, guys? I'm here in the future. I'm in Bali, and yes, there's lots of Mongolia content still coming up on the channel, but it's also Tuesday, and on Tuesdays I'm supposed to be teaching something, so I'm going to teach today. I'm going to teach you how to build the structure of a website, and I'm going to use SquareSpace. This video is sponsored by SquareSpace.com. I've just started using SquareSpace recently, and I'm actually really surprised at how easy it is to make a really cool looking website really fast. So I came up with this kind of idea to see how fast I could build a website, or how fast I could build the structure of a website. I use WordPress for brendansadventures.com, my main website, which is great, but Squarespace is easier to make it look really cool. WordPress has a lot of customizability that you can use if you're good at coding and stuff like that, whereas Squarespace, it just seems like you can kind of like plug and plop different items in and make it look really cool almost instantaneously. So I've been promising this video where I basically build a website live-ish on this channel as quick as possible. So that's exactly what I want to do today. I'm only going to cut this video essentially when I have a giant pause or when I need to check my notes. So if I mess up or anything like that, I'm not going to cut it. So let's open the notes and figure out what we got to talk about. So step one to building a website with squarespace.com is head to squarespace.com, and yeah, we're back at my laptop, or down at my laptop. Squarespace.com/Brendan Vanson, and that'll actually get you 10% off of your first purchase at Squarespace, as you'll see when it loads up. And the internet's slow, so if there's cuts, it's probably because the internet's slow as well. Third reason that there'll be cuts. So yeah, it says you get 10% off on your purchase. Squarespace has all these templates. If you're doing a photography website, there's tons of photography-based templates. If you're doing a commerce site or a blog or anything like that, there's just lots of options. I'm going to skip over browsing through them. I've already selected one that I like. So if you're signed in, you have your account up here. You've got your websites, domains, your profile, stuff like that. So we're going to click on websites. Website is here, the one that I've built. I bought this, as I said, specifically for this video. I bought indie.photography. I don't know why, I just did. So when you click on your website, it'll bring you over to this dashboard, and you've got all these options down here. You can do some advanced stuff like coding and stuff like that. We're gonna keep it simple today. So step two to building a website with Squarespace is you wanna go to design, and then you can click your template here. So you can pick your template. You pick one when you start, but if you want to change it, you can do that here by clicking Install New Template. I picked Bedford, which I really like. I think it's a really nice starting point for a photography website. It's got a little bit of everything that you need. So we're going to click back to the home, all the way to the home, and then pages. This is where most of your work's going to come in. Now, step three of building a website, I think, is to forget about design right away. I think people get way too caught up in the idea of design, and they forget that the skeleton's way more important. You wouldn't build a house by first, designing the paint and putting up pictures on the wall. You build that foundation, you build the framework and the structure, and that's the most important thing. That's something that's really hard to change down the line, so you want to get it right away. I think there's 7 things, more or less, that you need to have on a photography blog. So that's kind of what we're going to focus on. The first is a really good homepage, something that draws you in. The second is an about page. The third is a contact page. The fourth is obviously a portfolio. If you're a photographer, you probably want a portfolio. The fifth is social media links everywhere. The sixth is a newsletter. And then finally, you want a blog. So I'm going to walk you through how to do all that on Squarespace really fast. So we'll start with the homepage. When you come onto Squarespace, you've got all this main navigation, and one of them will be your homepage. So this is your homepage. We've clicked on it already. In your homepage, it will depend on how your theme is. It'll look totally different. This is what my homepage looks like. And I haven't touched much. I was kind of messing around with things a little bit yesterday, but it's basically the way it's come out as a template. So yeah, this is how it looks. You've got your main navigation bar up here. These are things that Squarespace automatically puts in just as kind of like placeholders that you can change later. You've got this up here. This is your logo. So if you want to change something, it's really easy. You literally just hover over that area, you hit edit. So it says Squarespace now, right now. Let's change this to indie photography. And now it says indie photography. You could also, if you wanted, add a logo instead of having, you know, the title there. And then you just hit save and it's saved. And cool thing about this is anytime you change something too, you can see how it looks on mobile. So you've got desktop view or the mobile view or tablet view as well. So I think that's really cool that you can do that. Let's say you want to change this main banner. You can click on the banner and you can change the image, or you can add a video. You can just like add one of your YouTube videos to play as the banner video, which is really cool in this theme. I'm gonna hit cancel because I didn't do anything. No, I'm not. I'm gonna hit close. I'm gonna hit discard because I didn't do anything. If you want to edit the banner and the text on it, you just hit edit, and then you can change this. So you can go like indie photography, or let's go like by Brendan Vanson. Epic photos, yo. Something like that. And then you can hit save. So now, yeah, we've got that all set up here. That's what the homepage is going to look like. If you scroll down, you've got other things like you might want to put a customer testimonial or your mission statement down here. If you want to change that again, you just hit edit, and then you literally just type right in there. You've got your style all up here. You can add links. You can add an about section. You can add a take action section. And if you ever want to add something else, you just hit add block. And then this whole navigation bar comes up that has all this different stuff. So you could add like a slideshow if you wanted. Let's say you wanted to add a slideshow. So now you can upload different media to this slideshow. Essentially though, you get the point. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get too off topic. But you can add all these blocks. And I think that's a really cool feature, is just being able to literally go, oh, I want to add something else, and just having different blocks lock in on your website. It makes it really, really simple. So let's go back to the home page. So we're back in the pages. Let's say we have a home page. Let's say we've gone through and we've, you know, written all this up and edited this the way we want it. Then we got to start thinking about the next thing on our list, which is having an about page. So the way Squarespace sets this up is they have their about as like a folder. And what a folder means is that when you like hover over this, it gives you all these drop down terms. I don't like that. I don't like having an about page, an about that does that, because to me an about page should just be an about page. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this whole folder. And you do that by clicking on this wrench and you hit delete folder, and everything inside it will get deleted. In the main navigation you go add, and then you have all these different layouts that you might want, and one of those options is an about page, which makes it really easy. You just click about. You can choose your style that you want. You can have it simple, you can have it vertical, you can have it as a banner. I'm going to do a banner just because that's what I'm going to do, because that's what mood has just struck me. We're going to call that about me, or about BVS. I don't know. Let's just do it that way. Now, again, if you click on this little wrench thing up here, the settings thing, you can then go in and change the navigation title, which is what it's going to show up here. You can change the URL, you can change the title, all that stuff. You can change a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of customizability you can do right in here. We're going to forget all that. We're going to change some stuff in here. So again, page content. We're going to, we're going to go about Brendan Vanson. We're going to add an image. Let's go to, did you guys just see that right there? I don't even know where that was. Somebody made this for me. Let's just use this for fun. I don't remember where that was though. I think I put it in my merch folder. Somebody made this for me. So let's just use this as the banner because it's kind of funny. But yeah, somebody made like a BVS piece thing. So I wouldn't do anything like this if I were you, but you could. So if you need to edit it, you can change the size, and you can do an image editor here. You know, you can edit all the stuff like you would a normal photo, almost like Lightroom. So that's pretty cool. You can crop yourself if you need to. Yeah, if you don't, you can just go back to cancel. I'm gonna leave it like that, and then you can, yeah, you add your information here. So like this is about Brendan Vanson, and then you can write, he's an okay photographer. Yeah, and you just leave that. And then you've got here, naturally, they already have your social media. If you want to add something else, like a contact form, for example, you go back into the blocks, which I just did, and then you can do, I believe it's called form. Yeah, so you click on form, and then magically a form will show up here. And you can customize that form, call it contact about or something like that. You can add basically anything you want them to be able to relay to you, you can add into here. And then you just hit apply. And then if you want to drag it around, you literally just drag it around. So if you want to put it above there, then you can do that. So that's a pretty awesome about page. We'll just leave it like that. And then now if we go back to the home page, you'll see at the top of the navigation, you've got About BVS up here. We can go back to the About BVS page, and again, we can check that on tablet, or we can check it on mobile. So yeah, it looks like that. We'll go back to the home page. The next thing you need, in my opinion, is a contact page. And so here they have the contact page here, but I'm actually going to delete that page. I want the contact page to really stand out. When I was the owner of a magazine and I was trying to get a hold of people, the most frustrating thing I found was just trying to find people's contact information. It should be really, really obvious and easy to find. So back on here, in this theme, they have this awesome take action button up here. I'm going to turn that into the contact page. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to change the title to contact page. I'm going to change the take action to contact me. I'm going to change the slug to contact, and then I'm going to go down and hit, or no, and then I'm going to go up here and hit save. And now you can see it says contact me up here. So if we go to the contact me page, it has this take action set up, but I'm going to change this so that basically that everything, when I change it, it's going to say, instead of take action, it's going to say contact. And then I'm going to add all this stuff down here, like contact information. So it's going to take me a little while to edit it. I'm obviously not going to do that all for you right here. But if we go to page content and hit edit, and then hit add, there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can add to this for a contact page. So you can add your contact form. You can add a map of your location. You can add all sorts of different stuff to this that will give you your that will give people the information. The stuff you absolutely need on a contact page are your social media links, which again down here you can just click on, where is it? Twitter or social links, and it'll create, you know, its own little buttons for your social media. You've also got 500px, Instagram, Flickr, SoundCloud, all these things right there. So you absolutely need your social media links. You absolutely need a way of people to contact you directly on the page, like a contact form. You need to include your email address. And if you own a photography business, like a gallery, you want that address and probably a map to get there. So that's your contact page. I'm going to leave it at that. Obviously, there's a ton of work you can do there. You don't need me for that. We're going to go back to the home page, and I've forgotten what the next thing is, so I'm going to go into my phone. Yeah, the next thing is a portfolio, and a portfolio is really easy to build in Squarespace. Again, you just go up to the main navigation, and the way I'm going to do this is different than the way some people would do this. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a folder, and I'm going to call this folder Portfolio. And you remember from originally, when it was called the About Me page was up there, it was a folder, so you had all these things underneath it. So right now it says empty folder. I'm going to add all these pages. So the first one's going to be a set of images. You can also do gallery if you want to do gallery. Let's do grid. And it's going to be called main portfolio. Let's do another one underneath it that's going to be images. Let's call this one wildlife. Let's do wildlife. And then just for giggles, let's add another one. underneath it, and let's call this one portraits, or let's go travel. So now if you go to your home page, you'll see it says portfolio up here. And then if you hover over it, you've got main portfolio, wildlife, or travel. Your portfolio is so important, and I think the portfolio is the most destroyed part of a photography website. There's just usually too many images. A main portfolio should have no more than 15 images in it. It should be probably between 10 and 15 of your absolute best images. If you show 100 images, people are going to go, he's good. If you narrow that down to your best 15, they're going to go, wow, this person's amazing. So your main portfolio should have 10, 15 images, and then every sub-portfolio should again have 10, 15 images. So if we go back to the computer, you see now here on the portfolio page, it shows main portfolio, which will all show up here next to your images. You've got wildlife. If you click on that, it'll show you your wildlife portfolio and travel. So if we wanted to now add images to our portfolio, it's really, really easy. We just go over here, we hit edit, we hit add image, and then let's go to my Instagram folder because that's the one that's probably the closest. And this is wildlife, so let's see if we got any animals in here. There we go, there's some bears. Okay, so then yeah, you just hit add image, and then eventually over time, sometimes it can take a second, eventually the images will load into this little spot here. And then if you want to add other blocks or different ways to divide up your portfolio, you can do that by again going into here, going into gallery, and you've got different options like slideshow, grid, stack. You've got some really cool ways of laying out some images, like as a poster or as a card or overlay. So let's do one of these. Let's throw this a card in. That way, if you want your portfolio to stand out like this, you can do things like, here you have your image, put your image of a chimpanzee right in here. So let's scroll down to the chimpanzee. Open it. You're going to see it's loading here. My internet is crazy slow, so it might not load. But let's go over to here, and then you can edit the title and everything like this. So you can write the information about your photo, like chimpanzee, which I can't spell properly. Oh, there's a fire ant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get out of here. Anyways, so yeah, chimpanzee in Takugama, Sierra Leone. Yeah, you can do stuff like this, and then again, you can always just, once you hit save, you can then drag this around. So if you want to put this up at the top, you can. You just drag it all the way to the top, or right under the bears, for example. It's a nice way to break up your portfolio. Okay, so let's save this. You guys get the idea behind a portfolio, obviously. We're going to go back to the home page, and you again now will see that everything's been updated with the portfolio and everything. We're almost there. We're almost there. There's probably 2 more things you want to add to your website. So the next one is a blog. And before I show you how to make a blog, let me talk about the importance of a blog. The blog is way more important than you'd ever imagine. In fact, if I didn't have a blog, I don't think I'd be a professional travel photographer, because so many clients have found me because of my blog. Yes, your website is like a hub for all your stuff. It's where all of your social media and your images and everything come together. But it's also probably one of the best places for people to find you because of something called search engine optimization, SEO. Basically, Google search hits. And if you're in the wedding photography business or the print business or portrait photography business or wildlife, or any photography business, you're going to have the opportunity to find clients. That's hard work. The real opportunity is when people find you. And the best way for people to find you, other than maybe social media, is Google search hits. So if you're a wedding photographer in Toronto or New York, and somebody types in wedding photography or wedding photographer Toronto, you want your website to show up in the top searches because thousands of people search that every month and they'll find you and maybe hire you. And the best way to build search engine strength on a website is through a blog, because you can write articles that are related to whatever your topic is. And Google then knows, okay, this person's a wedding photographer in New York. They write all these articles about wedding photography in New York. So we're going to start pushing them traffic to people that are searching for that sort of thing. So having a blog is so important because it helps people find you. So get a blog, have a blog, keep it updated, keep it relevant. And yeah, blog. It's so important. On SquareSpace, back on the computer, if you go to main navigation up here again and you hit add, it's really easy to add a blog. You just click blog. That easy. And now you've got your blog. So you can go my blog, or better yet, just add blog like this. And then again, we're talking search engine optimization. So click on the settings. And we're going to pretend I'm actually a professional travel photographer. So your page title is actually going to be travel photography blog, because you want Google to have as much information about that as possible. Your slug is going to be travel photography blog. That way when people search travel photography blog, that's probably going to show up. You also have SEO settings directly down here so that you can tell Google how you want your page to be read. So you can see Google reads this as travel photography blog dash indie photography. You can change your SEO title and your SEO description down here. So really, really handy and easy. We're gonna hit save. And it's gonna now take us over to our blog. On the blog, you just click plus to add a post. And then it's all right here. This is like your post, I guess, dashboard. This is your post creator, your editor. So the post title is going to be travel photography from Namibia. Let's say that. Oh, my scan is complete. Nice. And then literally you just write the blog post. I was in Namibia, except we're going to in Namibia doing photography stuff. Man, I cannot spell today. Stuff. And then if you want to add things like photos or whatever, you just add, again, the exact same way as you did to a page. You can add an image right here. So we can go search for an image. And then you see all the imported images. These are images that we put in already somewhere else. So we got a bunch of my chimpanzee photos. Hit apply. And then it's all right there. You can take this little thing and you can shrink it. If you want to do that, you can write a caption in here. Chimp life. Something like that. Again, you can edit the image right in your blog as well. You can do other things like, let's say you want to add a quote. You know, like a classic magazine quote. That's an option here somewhere. Yeah, right here. You can add buttons. You can add audio. You can embed videos. There's all sorts of things you can do in the blog post, and it's really easy. You can turn comments on, you can create it as a draft, you can add tags and categories, and then again you've got a bunch of options here like what your thumbnail image is, what your SEO title is, your social media sharing, what's it going to look like, how you're going to share it. Do you want to share it as a post, as an email? Do you want to connect it and automatically share it to social? Do you want to add your location? All these sort of things. And then you just hit save and publish when you're done. I'm just going to hit save, so it's going to be a draft. And then essentially that's the blog. The next time you're ready, you just add another post, and then you add another post, and then you add another post, and you've got yourself a blog. It's that easy. Going back to the homepage, your homepage now looks like this. You've got all this stuff. Now, there's one other thing that I don't think is a necessity on a blog. I don't even have it on my blog, although I probably should. And that's a shop, or to sell products. On SquareSpace, super easy. Again, you go to main navigation. I'm going to do it this way because this is the way I would do it, is I'm going to create a folder first. And I'm going to call that folder shop. And then in that folder, I'm going to add a page. And then I'm going to add different products. So the first product is going to be prints. The next category, I don't know what else you sell as a photographer. I should know this. Let's say tours. And let's add another category that's something like calendars. And then we can just, basically we've got a shop. So again, let's go jump back to the home page. The home page now has shop on the navigation bar, and you've got prints, tours, and calendars. So if we go to prints, it looks like that. Obviously there's nothing there. In the shop, literally to add a product, all you do is hit add product. So let's say a physical product in your prints, upload image. This is going to be the image of whatever you're selling. So I don't know, what should we sell? Let's sell this cow. The image is going to upload. You can obviously upload other ones. So we're going to go cow print. Although it's a coo, isn't it? It's a hairy coo. You can add your price. The price is going to be $100. There's 10 because it's limited, and then you can add dimensions and stuff like that. You can add different price variants as well. Additional info, if you want to write info about the product, you can have, yeah, there's like, I'm not going to get too into this because this video is already running really long, but essentially you can write your description, hairy cat coo print limited edition 20 by 30, something like that, and then you can hit save and publish, and it creates a whole page for that. But in your prints gallery, it's going to show up like this. So coo print, $100, and if somebody was to click on it, it's going to take them over to the sales page where they can then buy it, add it to the cart. It's so easy. And I think since it's so easy, and this video is probably getting close to that 30-minute mark I was hoping to stay with under? Sure, it's a word now. I think that this video is running long. I'm going to call this a video. I'm really happy with SquareSpace and how it's built, to the point that if I was starting a website right now, I'd probably just do it on SquareSpace, especially as a photographer, because it's so easy and it's so organized and it's so easy to make it look super professional. So I'm really stoked with it. I hope you guys are stoked with it too, and that you check it out. Again, if you head over to squarespace.com/Brendan Vanson, you'll get 10% off on it. And yeah, it's a great home for your photography website. If you don't have one, or if you already have one, maybe consider transferring over. And that's it for today's video. Back to Mongolia on Thursday's video, where we have some serious misadventures. And a little bit of epic photography and lots of epic locations, but mostly lots of misadventures. So I'll see you guys there. Catch you next time. Peace.